MRW, up or down, balls up, balls down, POD.
Which side is the sun, man? Are we serving?
Wait, which play is that?
Spin the Racket.
Welcome back to Spin the Racket, the recreational tennis pod, covering everything from the Pro Tour to the everyday league player. I'm your boy G.
And I'm Lu.
Lu, episode 4. We're getting in like a rhythm here.
We're building momentum.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
It is fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Are you?
A blast.
That's awesome.
And it's cool to have, I know all the feedback we've been getting has been pretty positive too. It's like the comments on Instagram, people texting me about it, like asking questions like, what is this? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, we've even shot on the tennis court, right? And then like people
Yeah.
are like, you guys have a YouTube channel? You guys YouTubers?
Right.
And it's like, no, we have a podcast.
Yeah. It's like,
We have a
cool.
podcast.
I don't know. Like we're talking about this earlier there. Like we're creators now, you know? So it's just.
Yeah, we are creators. So we have to, kind of put that hat on.
Yeah. You like that I have a hat here? So yeah.
Tell us about your new hat.
I'm wearing a hat. I guess I'm not a big hat guy, apparently. I wear hats on the tennis court.
You do wear hats on the tennis court, but I've never seen you. I was just saying that earlier. I've never seen you wear a hat outside of the tennis court.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like I have, good pride in my hair. And so, I like the curls to show. I don't typically wear a hat. But if I have something to say, like a statement, or like it's like something that's personal or cool, like I'll wear a hat. So like in this case, if you're watching it, I'm wearing the Metabolic hat. Metabolic is this gym that I train and coach at. It's the strength gym is what we call it. So all about strength-based interval training. Took you out for that class one time.
It was good. I liked it.
How was I as a coach?
Oh, you were awesome. You had some of the best playlists.
Oh,
Yeah,
tell me more.
It was some pump up music.
Yeah.
I think you caught me acting up a little bit while I was doing some of the step through stuff, and you're like, bro, you're gonna break up your form, and I'm like, dude, I'm just vibing here with this music, dog.
Yeah.
I'm just getting down. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you can't put good music on and then expect me to just not be goofy.
Right. That was like the best feeling though, as a coach, is like seeing your people get down to your playlist and like you put like a song in there, you're like, I wonder if it's gonna hit. Then someone like you're cutting up during a workout. I'm like, yes. See, this is why I do this. This is why I do. But yeah, that's where this hat came from. But I was actually, speaking of Metabolic, I was with the Metabolic crew yesterday. The gym just celebrated its 7th anniversary, 7 years in the game within Atlanta, at least. So the Metabolic Atlanta location on the Beltline. The owner threw this big party for everybody, and it's probably like maybe 50 people there or so.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't make it.
It's okay. I know you're a busy guy. You have a lot of events.
It's like an hour away from me, though.
It is a little bit.
An hour away.
Hike. But it was a good time. They had like barbecue and, snacks and beverages and music. And
Nice.
some of the members were there and we were just chatting it up. And one of them called me over and was like, hey, I got a question for you. And I'm like, what's up? Like, tell me about this new pod that I'm seeing on the gram. Like,
Really?
it's they use the quote, this is the sexiest new pod in the game right now. And I'm like, really? It's kind of just, me. I'm like, I'm a little shyer. I'm like, oh, like, what? Am I blushing? Like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? And yeah, I was like, is it our voices? Is it the content? Because tennis is a sexy sport, right? Is that what it was? Or is it, we didn't like go into it.
It's a niche, right? Like,
yeah.
I know we're taking broad strokes here and going into like different perspectives.
Yeah.
It's a niche sport. Not everybody plays tennis. So yeah, what was it?
We didn't dig into it completely. I was, again, just playing it easy, playing it cool. I was just like, oh,
I'm unfazed by this compliment.
It's just a passion project. I'm a humble guy, But I was like, but y'all following the pod, right? So there's like a group of them. I was like, all right, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Spin the Racket, check us out on YouTube. I don't know, but it's getting some buzz, getting some traction there.
We're steady momentum, I would say. We're just like what we started with the episode. It's just rhythm, right? Just getting into the motion, building that muscle memory, and making it part of our lives. Like we do have 9 to 5, so we are pretty busy, but just figuring out where it fits in the lifestyle and identifying as creators.
Exactly. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
Creative brand, But it's been good. I think that was a fun event this weekend. And then
what else do you have going on? I think you did something with USTA recently.
That's right. Yeah. Last weekend, I guess that was last Saturday. So yeah, today's Sunday. But yeah, the previous Saturday we had a USTA tournament. I've been doing USTA for as long as I've played tennis, I guess, because that's like kind of like the first
I
association.
like how you
that
didn't want to
get.
age yourself there.
I was like, how many years? And I was like, can I do the quick math? Like, I don't. Have you seen that like that reel with Taylor Fritz? And they're like, yeah, and they asked, what's the question? They say, like, how many?
Bro, $100 are in like $10,000 or something like
Yes,
that, or
yes.
like
Yeah, how many
something like
$20
that.
bills are
Yeah, how many
$10,000?
hundred? Yeah, it was like this dude was just like, I mean, get this man a calculator, bro.
It took him like 40.
He's like, I'm too drunk for this, and I'm like, are you? You still look kind of fine, man. Like, I would have to get to a certain level before I can't do basic math.
Yeah, like
But,
it was
I
just
mean,
hilarious.
it
But yeah,
was
I'm
funny.
trying to avoid that scenario right now. I'm just like, back in the day, whatever.
A few years.
A few years ago. But yeah, I've always been doing USTA, and here they have obviously we play on the same men's league for USTA, like our 4-5 team out of Bitsy, which is fun. And then they'll have these kind of special tournaments, whether it's or leagues like tri-level, for example, or this one is called like the combo doubles tournament.
I never know about these special events, dude.
Yeah.
I never. Like, I just can't keep up with all this stuff. I don't know. You're
There's a
like
lot
telling me like, oh yeah, I did this thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
does that even exist?
I know. Maybe that's good feedback for them. There's a lot of stuff in the news already pack in there.
Yeah,
like,
did you just? I don't know. I
pops
feel
up
like
randomly.
overload.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've done this maybe like 4 or 5 years now. It's just funny. Like the guys that I play with, I literally just see them like once a year. Like when this pops up, basically,
That's
it's
crazy.
just like, hey, yo, we got that combo doubles tournament coming up. Like, you in? I'm like, all right, yeah, let's run it back. And so the format for it is, so this one is like an 8-5. So it means if, as you look at the two players on your line, it has to equal or at least not go over 8.5. So ideally, you want to have a 4-0 paired with the 4-5 player. And so, for me, the last several years, I've gone back and forth on the ratings between 4-0 and 4-5. And like, I'm a low ego guy. Like, I don't care. I don't have to be necessarily rated a 4-5. I know my skills. I know my worth, right? I know what I bring to the tennis court. So but right now I'm rated a 4-0. And so in this situation, it's pretty advantageous to have me rated as a 4-0 to play with like a
high
4-5
4-0.
exactly. And I play with a 4-5 player, and it's like on paper, like, okay, you should not lose this line, right? Because it's like you're playing technically like a 9. That's the thing with USTA too. I don't know if you've like run into that when we've played matches against other teams, and like someone's like a 4-5, but like they're playing like they're like a D1 college player or something, and it's just like, you should not be a 4.
Yeah, bro. Like, I ran into some of those situations. But it is what it is. Like, no system is perfect, right? Like with Alta, it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's you run into up and down. You don't know who you're gonna play at any
crazy.
level. It's like such a mix. You just have to be ready to battle it out.
Right. Yeah. But so yeah, I was playing this tournament, and the formats, you have multiple matches. So you have like 3 matches, but each match has 3 different lines within it. So like a line 1, line 2, line 3. You play an 8-game pro set, and it's just a one-day tournament. So you're trying to win as many matches as you can to advance to like that next level. And so like I said, this team that I play with, like I've known the guys for a few years, but we only see each other for these tournaments basically. And the captain's really good, where he puts like a really good team. It's like the Avengers squad. He just like pulls random people from different parts of the tennis community, and he added some new guys to the team this year. So I remember you were telling me before, this guy Justin, like him and his brother, I guess, played on our men's Alta team, our USTA team. And I haven't played a ton this season because like traveling and stuff.
We've been off the summer, Sunday 4:00 grind. Honestly.
Yeah, I think I played like one match this season.
I played one too. Yeah,
but he was my partner for one of the matches, and the captain was like, "Oh yeah, you're playing with Justin so and so. You know him. He's on your tennis team." And I was like, I don't know this guy. But like, so we walk on court, and our opponents are there. Like, I walk on court and I'm waiting for Justin. Justin walks on court. He's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Justin. Like, nice to meet you." Super nice guy. Like, "Hey, what's up?"
He's
But
chill.
it's a chill. But it's just funny, like if you're like the opponent and you see like people you ought to play
You're
just
like, "Oh,
meeting
we
each
got
other
these
for the
guys."
yeah. You're like, I'm about to smoke
We're
them.
we're cooking them, dude.
They have no chemistry.
Yeah, they just met.
They just yeah. And like, in this instance, they were right. That was probably the worst match of that day that I played. I mean, Justin's like a really good tennis player, but like it's our first time playing with
That's
each
how
other.
I felt. Just so you know, that's how I have felt for the past 2 seasons, which have been my first 2 seasons with your Alta team. I'll play a new guy every time, and I'll play most of the season, and I'm just like, yeah, nice to meet you. So what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How do we play together? And it's like, yeah, I'm spitballing every weekend.
That's insane. Yeah, because you have to like, get all that out in the first like 30 seconds a minute.
Yep.
This other team's probably just like, yeah, let's just hit down the middle like the entire time and see like who covers it. And like,
yeah, you do science? You know, I didn't do science.
Right.
You're going to feel it out. I'm like, I'm worried about this. Like,
yeah.
I
And
kind of like doing science.
yeah. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but I hope we play again.
That's
'cause he was-
interesting. But
yeah.
he's got good weapons. So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, knowing the guy, if he said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I trust you.
Right, exactly. No, the
Yeah.
talent was there. It was cool. It was fun to play with him. Hopefully we'll play again. But yeah, we did not win our line, unfortunately. But overall, we won, which was great. And like I said, like the 4-0, 4-5 thing is so funny because when you're trying to like do your warm up and kind of size up the other team, you're like, okay, this is the 4-0, so you hit to that 4-0 guy, okay? And then you start playing the match. This guy's not a 4-0. This guy is just like, crushing balls. Like I played this one guy who, I don't know, like you think everyone's second serve typically is something you can attack a little bit weaker. The guy's second serve was better than his first serve. It was crazy. He was like had some crazy kick to it and stuff. And I'm like, this guy's not a 4-0.
For some reason nowadays, it's I'm able to hide how I play because I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm sure you've noticed I'm horrible warming up. Like I am much better when it comes to like playing than when I'm warming up.
Right.
I will like junk ball these people like during warm up, and it's for anyone that knows me, it's not intentional. I was just like horrible warming up, like when we're doing doubles, but then all of a sudden it's time to play, and it's like everything like just clocks in. You know what I mean? Everything just bolts together, and it's like it's like, oh shoot. But honestly, I'd rather be that way than the other way around, right? Where like, oh, I'm awesome warming up, and all of a sudden my swings just choke in the match. But I've been able to trick a few people, I think, over the past year just by them maybe trying to size me up while I was warming up, and I was like, yeah, bro, this is garbage. Like, I'm not even warming them up. Like,
yeah, with the warm-ups for you, I mean, you're not trying to like win the warm-up. You have those people who are just like trying to blast balls at you and like, oh, I'm gonna like.
I have a hard time like hitting like a non-aggressive ball because so much of my tennis is like moving forward, and so when I'm just trying to like hit like a medium ball, and you've noticed it in practice too. I'm like, I don't know how not to attack the ball.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, dang it, dude, like just bring it down a little bit, and that changes things. I'm playing multiple matches in a day. I have a story for that, by the way, but we could leave that for another time. It's just like playing more. Well, all right, I guess I can go into it, but
hype it up.
Have you ever had a Charlie horse, right? Like when your calf
Painful.
just like, well, have you ever had that happen to your hamstring?
Maybe not.
Hamstring cramps, in my opinion, are one of the worst cramps you can have.
Okay.
Because it's such a large muscle, right? It's such a large muscle, and it's really painful. So this was in high school. We went to, I think it was like regional states. I don't remember exactly, but it's one of those, right? You go to the tennis center. You go to a big tennis center, and you play like 3-4 matches that day, and these were like full matches. So I played all that. Back in the day, I didn't warm up. I didn't stretch. I didn't worry about electrolytes or anything like that. Like, dude, we were having like Jimmy John's or Subway, sandwiches, and then water, maybe Gatorade, but maybe.
What's the stretch? Yeah.
Right. So I play 3-4 matches. My parents pick me up. We go home, and I'm sitting behind my dad. My dad's driving. I'm sitting behind the driver. I go pull one leg out to get myself out of the car, and I get the cramp, dude. So my first reaction is to stretch my leg, but I can't because I got the seat in front of me. So I'm like dying here, bro. Like, I need to get out of this car. So I like hurry to try to get out of the car so I can stretch the leg.
Right.
And as I'm getting the left leg out, the right one cramps.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. Yeah. So I'm just like, at this point, I'm like incapacitated. And my dad goes, yo, just get out. Just get out. It's always been like that, dog. Like, like dads would be like, yo, rub some dirt on it. But I'm like, just get out. And I'm like, I can't, Dad. I can't. And bro, I am just in pain, dude. And I can't stretch my legs since I'm in the car. So my mom's like, help him out. And he's like, no, he's fine. I'm like, no, I'm not fine. So like, my dad's not helping me. My mom's like, what the hell? And so, bro, I literally go walking deck crawl out of the car. I I could not use my legs, so I like get myself out of the car, like my upper body out, and then just launch myself out of the car into the curb, and I literally start crawling, like army crawling, but like The Walking Dead, bro. Like I'm just got like no legs, and I'm trying to stretch them at the same time. It was like I am yelling off the top of my lungs, and like I don't know how the neighbors didn't come out, but it sounded like I was getting my legs cut off.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, this is the worst because I had that season, I had it happen on my left one
Okay.
a couple of times, so I knew what that pain was, but I never had it a cramp on both hamstrings, and I don't
That's
recommend it to anybody.
unique.
But yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
that was my Walking Dead like audition. You know?
That's hilarious. I'm picturing that like scene of like Wolf of Wall Street or something, and like
Yeah,
DiCaprio's
yes.
like in the driveway, like crawling.
Just yeah,
Like-
it felt like that, man. I just like I was incapacitated and I was just yelling. I could feel it was pain, so I couldn't even talk. I was just screaming.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine,
I feel
but
like there's
you know-
still some trauma there. It sounds like.
yeah, it's an unforgettable moment, you know. So when you told me, oh, the moment you said I play multiple matches in a day, I
Right.
was like, I just go back to that. I'm like, yeah, that was like
Bro.
one of those highlights. After
Yeah.
that, I obviously, you know, researched a little bit of like how to prevent cramps, hydration, stretching, you know, doing some cool downs, all that stuff.
It's
But
important. Yeah. We'll probably have like an episode where we go like into that like in more detail too.
yeah, I'm just too dumb to like do this stuff without going through an experience like that to be like, oh, maybe I should, you know,
Right.
maybe.
I know. Yeah, no. I mean, it wasn't that hot. We played last weekend. It was like maybe 80, 89, something like that.
That's
but,
perfect.
yeah. But like, yeah, definitely was like pounding Gatorade, water, electrolyte powders. I was stretching in between. I was just like, we're not gonna be cramping up.
Well,
out
you're
here.
also not 17 or
It's true.
16, whatever, however old I was. So
Right.
you know a thing or two now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wiser.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we won the tournament, so we ended up winning that city championship, and so now we advanced to the state tournament, which is in October in Dalton, Georgia, which I have no idea where that is. I'll have to Google Maps that later. No shade, but we'll go there in October. Actually, you know who's from there is Evan, the guy we met
Oh
at
yeah,
Sandy Springs at one time.
that's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
Speaking of Evan, I think you want to give us a little bit of that backstory, right? How we met him, and then how this whole thing's coming about.
We met Evan at Sandy Springs Tennis Center. So was that maybe like 3 weeks ago or
That was
so?
like 3 weeks ago. This is like the first time we tried shooting, but we couldn't like. That's just wasted footage, which sucks because I feel like we
know.
had some good rallies then, but
Yeah.
we just couldn't get the audio to sync, and it's
That's
too
right.
much work.
It's still early days for us. on that
This
kind
was
of
our
stuff.
moment, right? This was our moment where we whip out all the recording gear, whatnot, and then
Yeah.
like he's hitting with a girl, and then like one of them asked us, "Are you guys YouTubers? Do you guys have a
Yeah,
YouTube
like, what's
channel?"
this
And we're like,
about?
"No,
Yeah.
we're podcasters. We have a podcast."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you see like the tripod and like we had the mics on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
we're like we got the production.
Yeah,
running.
yeah.
Luckily, we didn't have one of these lights, but that would have been too much.
I'm probably like shanking balls. They're like, oh, you guys are pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro. You know me. Yeah, no, it could always be better.
More of a second set guy, you know. Give me some time to like ease into things.
Yeah, we're still warming up. We suck during the warm up.
Yeah, exactly. But no, he's a cool guy. So he is a mortgage broker, and he is doing this event for pickleball in September. I think September 18th. I want to say. We'll put some info in the IG about it on the Spin the Racket Instagram.
Yeah, it's at the tennis center that we talked about on episode 1, and that's where we were filming, and that's
That's
where
right.
we met him, and
That's
that's
right.
where the event's gonna take place, which
Yep.
is Sandy Springs Tennis Center, September 18th.
Mhm.
With Evan the Mortgage Man, right? I think that's
That's
his handle. So yeah,
that- yeah.
we'll do a reel and everything
Yeah.
about this. But yeah, so we're gonna be at that event. I guess we're gonna be promoting the podcast, just kind of
Yeah.
doing
We'll
our
be out there.
Courtside Chat. Is that the new
We can
segment
do
we're
that.
gonna
We can
have?
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, bring that out there. I know. I feel like that makes it more fun when it's just, I don't know, people in the community that have things going on that we could all kind of collab and like partner with. This is kind of just, again, super organic, but
Very.
I think, you know, you see someone doing something cool, like you want to support them, uplift them as well. And so, yeah, as people have things going on, like let us know. I mean, DM us, like, you know, we love to be a part of other tennis, pickle, padel, whatever
Racket,
it is.
Yeah. Racket sports, right?
We're all in this together. Yeah, what's going on in your world in tennis right now?
Actually, nothing. No, psych.
Yeah, right.
So over the past month or so, I have become a member at Lifetime Fitness.
Fancy.
Yeah, got talked into it, and now I'm a lifetime member. I used to be a lifetime member, like back in like 2012, 2013.
Okay.
I left Atlanta. I've lived all over the place, and then came back to Atlanta about like 3 years ago, and took me that long to become a member again. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty penny. But Lifetime's now, kind of like they're trying to turn into like a athletic club where it's not
Okay.
just like a gym. It's
Yeah.
like they have like a recovery space, and they now have like tennis facilities and pickleball. The one that I joined, it has tennis and pickleball
Okay.
and squash, and it has like sauna, indoor pool, outdoor pool, a cold plunge. So there's a lot of things going on. I ran a whole algorithm with ChatGPT to understand how many times a week I had to go and how many amenities I had to use to make it worth it, worth the experience. I've been doing that, and that has been a challenge because, I'm not a morning person, G, and
You're pretty early.
I've been waking up a lot earlier just to allow for all the stuff I said I was going to do while I'm there. I'm not just going to the gym and saying, all right, whatever. No, it's been like gym, sauna, cold plunge, shower, like all the whole 9 yards. And the funniest thing is, I'm leaving one of the days this week. I'm leaving Lifetime,
Yeah.
and I am in the parking garage. And I walk past a guy, like I see him coming, and he goes, "Good morning." And I see he's probably like a tennis coach. He works there. He had like
Okay.
a bat. All of a sudden, I go, "Yo, Tyler, what's up, man?" Yes, Tyler from episode 3, where, I talked about playing doubles with him in this like epic 3-hour battle with these 6-year-old guys. Yeah, so Tyler is the pickleball director at this Lifetime that I joined. And I already hit with the tennis director, super nice guy, and it's been a good experience. And as a side note, I know you wanted me to mention it. I am trying to work on this entire thing of trying to figure out, one, becoming a morning person, two, like I had been going to the gym just to lift some weights, go back home. Really simple. Bring a bottle, headphones. That's it.
Right.
Now, I think you and I are similar when it comes to like preparation, right? We need to be organized. We need to be prepared. I'm highly organized when it comes to these things. And now I'm introducing like cold plunging and sauna and shower, and I need to bring my toiletries, bring like all shower slides for like hygienic purposes, and so many different things that I have to pack. And I have to bring a bag, and I have to bring a protein shake and dates. If you know, you know. And so that's creating a bit of a challenge, man. I have realized that there aren't a lot of gym bags that you can like, one, have like dividers, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grab a duffel bag that I can divide and I can partition into different sections.
Yeah.
But then I also need to be able to put enough stuff that I need to be able to put my change of clothes, my new shoes, my tennis shoe or my workout shoes, and then some shower slides.
Yeah. And your snacks.
And toiletries and snacks and protein shake and water bottle. There's a lot of few things. So it needs to be like big enough, but it also needs to fit in the locker. This is the challenge. It needs to fit in the locker, be highly organized. And what I want to do is I want to turn it vertically so that I can actually access it sort of like shelves.
Yeah.
If I could. Now, I have not been able to find something like that. I found sneaker bags, I found gym bags. I found, obviously, there's a ton of duffel bags, but not a lot of stuff that has dividers. I found 2 companies, King Kong Bags and this new company that I found literally yesterday called Kitworks. Popped up on my YouTube, like a sponsored ad. King Kong Bags, if you're listening to this, if you want to send some gear our way and have us test it out, we'll make it part of the pod. Same thing with Kitworks. We want to try it out. I just have all these specific use cases for gear. But yeah, it's been a challenge. Like I run into these situations a lot, and I think you wanted me to share with everyone like these specific use cases. I'm trying to build something. So it's like, do you make your own bag? Like, do you fashion your own like piece, or like do you try to find a company? And I'm reaching out to these companies trying to figure out, they got to know their product best. So it's like, which bag should I like try to integrate and stuff like that?
Right.
But I've not found the one. It's like the the shoe that fits the glass slipper.
That's right. I know it's like its own show. It's funny because tennis is unique like that, where there's gear for a fashion purpose, but there's also the function purpose, right? And I think there's like a super wide variety of tennis bags. People do backpacks, tote bags, gym bags, whatever. So, but it's just like there's so many options, but then there's also like not enough options at the same time.
At the same time, no, you're right. Like I went through a gym bag, not a gym. I went through a tennis bag dilemma a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I ended up with the big old bag. But it's basically like I would rather have a larger bag that I underfill than a small bag that's like always stuffed. And then if I need to throw in like something extra, then I can't. But you're right. There's not a ton of options, but I think when it comes to gear, we always want more.
Again, it's such an individual sport with tennis, and that you can kind of have your own flair to it and your own bags. Like, I'm just thinking about like there are some bags that look really nice, but have just like no actual purpose or function. It's just like just.
Are you talking about like those like Wimbledon duffels and stuff like?
Yeah. It's just
I know
like
what you mean. Well, the tennis world's always like the tennis court's always been a little bit of a runway, right? It's just kind of like we may not see that as much here in the U.S., but I know all over the world, like soccer players are almost like fashion figures for a lot of kids. And so like kids would literally get the latest haircut. Like I remember Cristiano Ronaldo, for me growing up, it was like, you got the Cristiano Ronaldo haircut and every barber knew what the Cristiano Ronaldo haircut was for like that season or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously we should talk about that too some more.
Yeah.
I mean, with tennis, obviously, like Venus and Serena really kind of started the whole fashion trend within the U.S. and like women wanting to have these like really nice dresses and cool fits, and the sneakers and like the guys and men have kind of transitioned into that too. Where Rafa, for example, like he used to wear the capris, like the really long pants, and then over the years the shorts get shorter and shorter. They get like sleeveless tanks and just like.
Yeah, I think like his whole transition is like worth an entire episode on the podcast because it's such a journey to see like 2007 2008 Rafa to like pre-retirement Rafa was like totally different, right? I think Roger was one of the few to on the men's side to kind of create the first one to create their brand, right? Like the RF, the classic RF. Then obviously Rafa followed. I mean, Nike definitely didn't sleep on that. They're like, oh shoot, then they come up with a bull.
Right, exactly.
Bowl or whatever.
Exactly.
So it's so sick.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. I mean, it'll be fun because obviously we have the U.S. Open coming up. Everyone is looking at these lead-up tournaments. You had like Toronto and Cincy's going on right now.
Right.
It's been fun. Have you been following any of the matches?
Quite a bit. What's his name? Admain? Or
the French guy. Yeah,
the French guy. He had quite a run.
I know.
In Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Made it to the semifinals. He gave, let's say, Sinner a good run for
that
his
first
money.
set was really tight.
That first set was tight, and
he beat like what Fritz, Kaboli, Runa. Like he was just
he
chopping off
crushed a
heads.
few. I mean, you don't make it to the semifinals without beating a few good folk, right?
Yeah,
that's just the reality of it.
That's good for him.
It was interesting. I read an article this morning about kind of what we talked about, right? Like if you prioritize health as a player and you want to, have a longer career, how I think it was Novak, Draper, Sinner, Alcaraz, they all pulled from the Toronto tournament, especially after the decision to make both Toronto, I think it's Toronto and Cincinnati make them 2-week tournaments. So it was interesting to see that. So obviously Toronto, we had Shelton make his, his breakthrough there for getting his first Masters 1000. And now in Cincinnati, we're going to have what is now to be a neoclassical showdown between Sinner and Alcaraz.
Another one. It's just like, okay. I mean, this will be interesting because it's obviously best 2 out of 3 sets. As we talked about last week's pod.
How are they going to fare in the best 2 out of 3?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's like a higher stake, right? Like, I mean, you can't just like, I'm just going to drop a set and then come back. Like, no, you need to.
Well, I think at this point, Alcaraz knows he can't give an inch.
Yeah,
he can't give an inch to Sinner. Otherwise, he's already on top of him, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever seen like a court level video of these guys hitting, it's like it's ridiculous. Like. I mean, in general, like ATP level is ridiculous. Like you can't give an inch, otherwise you're already behind the ball. But it's like with Sinner and Alcaraz, they're hitting at such pace and such aggressive shots. For most people, you're talking about like, you hit those shots once, maybe you're 3 shots in and you build a rhythm and you got the right positioning. These guys are firing off the return, off the serve and +1, and it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's
So
crazy.
like you'll find Alcaraz pulling, a backhand slide, and then all of a sudden Sinner's already at the net.
Yeah, literally.
It's like it's super aggressive tennis.
It's crazy. And I think with watching Sinner over the years, I mean, he's just so consistent and like his level doesn't really go up or down that much. There's like not these dramatic like waves where he's like dipping down and
Right.
playing really poorly and then playing. He's just like very consistently great, you
He's
know?
my goal. Yeah, he's my goal player. Like
Yeah.
I would love to be as consistent, even if it weren't like amazing, right? Even if it were just like 80% of my
Right.
level, if I
Yeah.
could just always rely on that.
He's just very
So
steady.
sick.
I think Alcaraz though, on the flip, I think if he's playing like max potential, like as good as he can play, I personally think he's better than Sinner.
Right.
But
can
I don't
agree on
think you
that.
can hold. I don't think he can like you can't red line
He's
the
not as
entire time,
yeah, he
right?
can't,
Like, you
exactly.
can't
He's not as
do that.
you can't, and that's a hard tennis to grasp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can. You got to let your body even like one is can you focus that highly for that long, and 2, can your body keep up with that rhythm, right? So it's like he's definitely managing like that situation and his aggression. He's doing a good job, but right, he's a more up and down player. I identify more with him,
Yeah.
so I understand the struggle. On a bad day I could be a 3-5. On a good day I could be a 5. So it just really depends.
That's the life of
That's the life
a weekend
of
warrior.
yeah.
For sure.
Well, and I saw something recently that said not to get derailed, but I saw a stat that said that Alcaraz has made the finals of the last 7 tournaments that he's played. If you make it all the way back to like I think even before Rome, he's made the finals of the last 7 tournaments he's played. But again, just a little side conversation here. Something I saw, I think it was yesterday, that said the moment you become a better tennis player is when you realize that every day you're going to play differently, and every day is a challenge of figuring out and managing your shots and where you are. If you expect to play today the same, like let's say you had an awesome level yesterday, the moment you set the expectation that you're going to play at that same level today, you've already broken yourself. And I used to have that like loop of pressure that like, oh my gosh, I've been playing this week, my level has been going up. And so going into maybe the match on Saturday or maybe the following week, the next time that I play, I expect my level to be there at that, let's just say 85%, and it's not. And I'd be like, dude, what's happening? Like, why am I backpedaling? But not realizing that it's going to be up and down, and sometimes your backhand is working, sometimes it's not. And it's always, I think Carousel from, I think he calls it Carousel Tennis now. It used to be my tennis HQ. He used to talk about the game of tennis is about managing, right? Like you're always managing something. You're managing your shots, you're managing your focus, you're managing your physicality, your breathing, but it's always managing. You're always going to have an issue somewhere, and you can't expect to, it's like a game of whack-a-mole, right? You can't expect that, oh, you worked on your back end and it's now perfect and you're never going to have to work on it again. Friggin' Djokovic, I mean, we saw videos, I don't know if you saw that Sinner was working on his serve after one of his matches. Like you're talking, Alcaraz after his semifinal with Zverev, same thing. He was working on his game an hour after and these are late matches, right? So he's working at maybe like close to midnight, working on his tennis an hour after defeating Zverev. I know Zverev had a little bit of a difficult injury time, or he didn't retire, but he wasn't 100% towards the second set. But either way, this guy is obviously like, look, if I'm going to be facing Sinner tomorrow, I've got to be at 100% of my level.
Yeah,
he knows that
for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. I do think I sympathize with the fact of not having your best game every single time you walk on the court. And I think you and Jake had talked about it before, but it's a game of errors, right? And just like, how do you manage that, to your point? Yeah, I'm thinking about the tournament that I played like last weekend, and just like I could not find my first serve that day. It was just like gone, non-existent. And so like I was just having to play my second serve, and you're only as good as your second serve.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to like win matches with that
I mean, that's some bragging rights, dude, because I've had those days, right? And if you can manage to win a match
Right.
off your second serve, it just there's something there, you know, that you managed to do that regardless of not playing your best tennis. And I think Alcaraz does that really well. He's not always at 100% of his level. He's a little bit more up and down, but he knows when to find it for the key moments and when he's not playing great, but he still needs to play a tennis that beats the opponent. That's one thing we can learn or we
Yeah.
can take away from the Alcaraz game. And though he's capable of amazing tennis, he also has the struggle that I think a lot of us can relate to. And that's why Sinner might seem a little bit more like it's hard to find cracks, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But in Alcaraz, it's just you can get behind the guy, you can understand, and I think that's why he has a lot of support too. I mean, it's just showman tennis too. Sometimes, so, you know, when he's playing 100%, it's
Right.
ridiculous.
It is. It is. And there's so many good storylines, I think, too, coming into the U.S. Open next week. And, you know, one of them is the fact that the number one ranking will be on the line. I think
That's right. Yeah.
Sinner has like 2,000 points to defend, like Alcaraz like 50. So there's like this huge potential for delta and change here. So that'll be kind of fun to see. Not only could it be another epic 5-set match, you
We
know,
can
in the
only
final,
hope.
but
You can only hope. You know, Grand Slams. That's like it's free for all, man. Some
Yeah.
people lose in the first round and they're
Right.
out.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see.
All right, so now we're going to introduce a segment called Courtside Chat. Yeah, that's our new segment. And to give you a little bit of background, we, posted on IG that, we were going to be filming this episode and we asked people to ask some questions that they want to hear us answer. We got some good ones. We got some difficult ones. And we have, I would say enough. I think we selected 4.
That's right.
4 questions. But yeah, we're going to be answering questions. We're going to turn this, Courtside Chat into more than just the podcast. We're going, like, the goal is to be at events, obviously, like that September 18th event that we're going to be going to. We're going to interview folks. We want to get courtside level perspectives from everyone. All right, so G, give us a rundown of the questions here.
All right. First one here from at DW Kerman 1. Rank the Grand Slams. Which one is most iconic, most important for a career resume, most indicative of future career success, etc.? I love that one.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough. I mean, some of these questions we got are difficult.
Yeah. What's your SAC ranking? Give us the order here.
Wimbledon's number 1. It's the most iconic. I think the most indicative of future success would probably be it has to be hard court because most of the season is played on hard court. If you can go 2 weeks deep on a hard court tournament, you're probably going to do all right in most of the season, right? So I would have to say either the Australian or the US Open, but the Australian probably a little bit more because it's the beginning of the season. So you've done all the preseason work.
Interesting.
You come in like that's setting the mood for your entire year in your like let's say 2026 season. Let's say I go into the my preseason. I make the semifinal of the Australian Open.
Yep.
That powers me for the rest of the season.
Right.
Obviously, expectations are set, but I think indicative, Australian Open. It's a difficult one. You're like in another part of the world, and it's a tough tournament.
Yeah. I agree with you on the most iconic one. I think Wimbledon for sure is just the most traditions and prestige and just everything that comes with it. Like that's like the one I feel like most people dream about is winning Wimbledon. I think the one that kind of signals that you've made it or you can win any tournament, I think is US Open, in my opinion. Think about playing in New York and this raucous crowd that's just like there's a lot of distractions, a lot going on, a lot of like energy. I think winning that or being able to go 2 weeks and focus and lock in enough to be able to win a tournament like that, like you should be able to play anywhere after that, in my opinion.
So we can both agree that Roland Garros is kind of like this specialist Grand Slam.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's like there's only so much. You've got 2 surfaces that are rarely played, grass and clay is obviously a lot more played, especially in Europe. But when you look at the pro tour, there's not a lot of clay and there's very little grass. And so, yeah, indicative. And I mean, Roland Garros has a deep history, but I would probably put it at number 4. We can debate on 2 and 3, but Roland Garros would probably be 4 for me.
Yeah. But what's interesting too on the clay piece is that, to your point, so in the US, right, typically young juniors, we're growing up on hard courts. We're not learning how to play on clay.
Right.
It's kind of more in Europe and other areas. And I think, when you look at the style of play and how do you put points together, that point construction, that sort of thing, like learning how to play on clay is super advantageous for you. And maybe there's like an appreciation factor that I'm missing from it because I grew up on hard courts and I love hard court tennis. Like I kind of just have like Roland Garros is like, I don't know, it's okay, but it's different,
Again, this is purely our opinion, right? It definitely has its place. Like, get me wrong, it's a Grand Slam for a reason, right? But the clay developed players are really resilient. They're really tough fighters, but you can't play on the hard court like you play on clay unless you're Rafa, maybe. Yeah, I think that would be my ranking. I mean, not to overthink it, it would be, Wimbledon, Australian Open, US Open. Kind of, I would say they're both tied for 2. I know, honestly, it's really difficult. You can pick them apart and kind of like we did, right? It's like, well, one's louder. Well, one's like the beginning of the season. You should be able to start your momentum, get your momentum going. So it's like,
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but Roland Garros is just as important, and these are probably very minute differences between the 4 rankings.
Right.
They're all Grand Slams.
I think my ranking is Wimbledon, US Open, Aussie, Roland Garros.
Okay.
Because I think like I put US Open a little bit above Aussie because of the time difference too, and as a viewer and a fan in the US, it's just really hard to watch those matches.
100%.
But obviously, I love the tournament too. But I'm just like, yeah, obviously I can watch US Open anytime. Like Wimbledon is still manageable from that standpoint, and it has like some of the best coverage too in terms of ESPN covering like all the courts for like Wimbledon, US Open. I think Aussie is also ESPN. So I digress, but that all
we
plays
answered
into
the question, I think.
All right, question number 2. So at Jake.Tuckman, we know who that is. In your opinion, rank the best generation of tennis. Example, is it this generation of pro players? Was it the big 3 with Roger, Nadal, Djokovic, Pete Sampras, John McEnroe era? What's the best in your opinion?
I think the best generation of tennis is the one that you grew up with. It's the one that defines your tennis career, your passion for tennis. Every generation has like their thing. For me, it was the big 3. Because of my generation, I can appreciate that the generation of like McEnroe, Borg, Sampras, I saw a little bit of that coming in, but for me it was that. Now as an adult, I can appreciate the Sinner and Alcaraz rivalry. So, but if I had to say biggest impact for me was the big 3, Roger, Rafa, and Novak. And so, but at the end of the day, I think it all depends on who you ask across what generation, right? So the reality is that we're only where we are because of each generation of tennis that kept the sport alive, that made it popular, that made, a kid pick up a tennis racket and want to become the next tennis star, So right now it's on the shoulders of this generation to keep tennis relevant, to propel it forward, so that we may have another great generation and so on.
Right. Yeah, no, I resonate with that. I think obviously for similar to you, the big 3, Rafa, Roger, Novak, like that's definitely the generation that comes to mind. I look at it from just the stats too perspective. I mean, you look at, that 20-year period, which is technically still going on with Novak, but how many Grand Slams were won between the 3 of them? And it's just like, you don't see that. You haven't seen that in previous eras. That's like, it's just like it's kind of this
such
phenomenon.
A monopoly amongst like 3 people.
It's just incredible to see like the dominance that they've had in their own time periods and the influence. You talk about, getting kids to play tennis and that sort of thing. there's players out there that model their game off of Roger or model off of Rafa, or like think about like the dominance he had on clay for Rafa. You think about Roger and like, you know, the precision and like the grace and I don't know, just like different styles that come from it. Yeah.
And then, and one thing that, you know, I think makes a huge difference, and obviously we're in an era of globalization, there's a lot more exposure, so you could attribute it to that, but the three of them are bigger than the sport. There's a lot of people that don't know tennis that know who Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic are.
For sure.
And that's how you know how like epic they are.
I think it's like they transcend sports, and the same thing with I think about on the women's side. Like obviously I'm partial, but like Serena Williams is the greatest female tennis player ever, and you know I look at what she's done too, and how she transcends sport. It's like people just know. I mean, she's in rap music. She like it's the fashion. Like everyone just knows the name, and I think when you look at generations, you look at eras that like have that effect. I mean, you have to think about that group in terms of the profound impact they have on the sport in future generations too.
Yeah, great answer, G.
Next one we have here is from at Ramiro_Ureta. How do you see pickleball and Padel affecting tennis in general in the future? Are they a good or bad thing? I personally know people that have switched from tennis to pickle/Padel and never picked up a tennis racket again.
How would you define good? Like, is in terms of health, I think it's fantastic. The more sports people are playing, the healthier we are as a race, as a community. You know, so if you look at it from that perspective, it's really good that people are remaining active, not giving up on a sport because it's difficult, and they're continuing their journey in whatever fits them and what they want. Now, if you're asking like if it's good for tennis, then no. I mean, obviously someone that's not playing the sport is not really contributing to the sport, right? But I made the argument, I think it was on episode 2, that there's a little bit of a cross pollination effect between the sports. Whereas, yeah, you might have people going from tennis to Padel or pickleball. You could have the other be the case. And Jake kind of mentioned in episode 3 where, you know, even for the new generation, you can't grow up as just a pickleball player. I mean, you can, but it's not recommended because then you can't really transition into anything else. Whereas a tennis player, someone that grows up with tennis as like the core sport, then can transition to maybe Padel and pickleball. So that's my answer on 2 different fronts, right? Of the definition of what's good.
Yeah, you really broke that out. I like that. Here's my view. I do think that all racket sports in general benefit from having popularity in different groups. So, for example, with pickle being in this like glow up period, everyone is attracted to pickleball. It's so popular. I do think tennis can benefit from that. I think Padel can benefit from it. Squash, badminton, racquetball, name them all. I do think we are in an interesting point where we talked about this, like you said, episode 2, just around the infrastructure for tennis and the fact that there are some of these tennis courts being converted into pickleball courts and so forth. Like I think that can't continue to happen, you know, at a certain rate, or you do kind of risk that, you know, is tennis going to be around at a certain point. I think generally speaking, because they are attracting similar communities, most of these people are typically playing multiple sports. They are going to play pickle. They are going to play tennis at the same time. They're going to pick up the Padel, paddle. I don't think it hurts to have folks gravitate toward one for a bit and then go back to it. I think it's kind of like rising tides raise all ships in this instance. And so I'm optimistic that they all can coexist.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. You know, because I play tennis, I can play racquetball and I can play badminton. So I've been able to play those 2. I've not, again, dipped my feet into Padel, pickleball, or squash, which I now have access to.
For sure. Our last one here is from a little fire starter at Sam_Schillen. Sam is a teammate of ours in Alta, so he had to ask this one.
You're always coming with the spicy stuff, man.
Love it. I love it. He said, life on the line. Who wins a best out of 5 match between you two? You two being me and Luis.
I'll give it to you.
Yes, and how you want me to answer this first?
No, I'm saying I think you would win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Why?
I'm humble in general, but I would say like in tennis, I've been humbled many, many times by many, many people. And I don't know, dude. You definitely, I mean, I think you have the cardio to go the longer. I think my tennis would just break down, you know, after the second set.
Yeah, it's funny because I was thinking about this question ever since he messaged me. I was like,
Yeah.
"Really, Sam? Like,
I was
so
like,
you're gonna
really?
ask
You're
us?
really gonna ask
You're
this?
gonna say that you're trying to break up the pod? He just wants to like cause a rift?" No, I do think uh, obviously with best of 5 sets, there's yes the physical aspect of it and like who can like outlast the other. Like there's like the mental component of it and like the strategy around it. Like so for me, like as a tennis player, like my style typically is like super aggressive, right? Like I'm in for a good time, not a long time. I want to have like that big serve, +1 kind of shot and be done with points. Like I don't love the like 10 shot
I
rallies,
used to
that sort of
grind
thing.
people. That's not me anymore. I'm not
Right.
Junior Luis playing singles. I play doubles most of the time now. In my cardio shows, my tennis shows, like it's changed into that. So kind of the same way. It's like really aggressive. I'm not here to play long points and all that stuff. And so yeah, add that, minimum 3-set component. Like, but singles.
Exactly. So yeah, I kind of like want to just like go in there quick, like win for the match, 2 sets, be done. So yeah, like I don't know if it gets to the third set, like, who knows? Will I focus? I my attention span is just it's gotten worse over the years. So like, can I like stay focused and locked in to win 3 sets in a row, or are we going 5 sets? And I do think, yeah, I mean, if we go maybe 4 or 5 sets, I feel good about the conditioning to be able to last. But what surface are we playing on? Like, are we playing on clay? Are we playing on hard court?
Oh no,
If we're playing on
you'd have to
clay,
make
I will
it.
absolutely lose. Like, I hate playing on clay. So I don't know.
Ooh, that might give me an advantage. But I also dislike playing on clay. But I mean, clay.
Yeah.
Hard true. Topic for another time. But is hard true real clay? But yeah, I don't know. I think you take it, G. In all honesty, I have to humble brag you. Just lay that one down.
Sounds like we're gonna have to like get on court with some cameras and actually
We're
make
not
this
doing it.
happen.
We're not doing 3 out of 5, dude. Like I'm
Are you
not
afraid, Luis?
masochistic. What? I just told you would win. What else you want? Like I'm not challenging you. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, those are good questions. I think we'll do this more. Like get other questions and comments from folks. So like as you're listening to this and you want to ask something, like
This is the
crazy,
recreational
like,
tennis pod. Yeah, it's from the recreational player for the recreational player. So we want to get everybody engaged. If you have any questions, just feel free to interact with us, message us, or DM us, comment, like any feedback you have. Like it's really appreciated. The fact that you're listening to this, that you're following the journey, be part of it, and don't be shy.
1000%. And we got some good episodes coming up too.
We have everything planned right now up to episode 9, which is crazy. So yeah, we've got a lot of things that we need to catch you up on. And so yeah, be stoked, be excited. Well, thanks for listening to episode 4 of Spin the Racket.
I'm your boy G.
And I'm Blue.
See you next time.